One drink and draw. I'm sorry. I'm a trained professional. I should actually have my words down a little bit more than what I do. My guest this time is the one and only Specks Thompson. Welcome back, man.
Hey, thanks for having me again, man.
Hey, dude, you were fun last time. You were really, really fun. So I figured maybe you'd want to actually be able to put up. If you can put up with me again, we'll draw. We'll draw. I gotta warn you, I'm not as good as you. But that's okay.
I mean,
Right?
I'm not that great myself, so it's gonna be
Yeah, we're just
a
we're
great
just good.
time.
We're goofing off, having fun. What I'm
Yeah,
doing, see, I wrote a novella, and what I did was it's like I realized that so someone with a beginner as an artist would actually fit the right art style for the story. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm a beginner, I can do it. And now
hmm
I'm like, what? I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Because this is one of those moments where you just kind of just realize that I had no idea what I was getting into, but here I am getting into it. So
Hey, they take the
I'm,
first step, man. That's all it takes.
yeah. I've learned that every good thing in life requires a willingness to look at, I don't know what I'm doing, and taking a step forward. That's everything from going on a date, that first kiss, drawing a pencil, right? Drawing with a pencil, or,
Yeah.
yodeling. It doesn't matter,
Mhm.
right? Not knowing, and then I came up with a very important life lesson. I will never let me not knowing what I'm doing stop me, for better or for worse.
Hey,
Sometimes,
that's a good logic,
yeah,
man.
yeah. It's just you have to, like, you have to look, and you have to see, you have to try, and you have to be willing to explore possibilities. That's what life is about, man. Is every day there's a chance to go somewhere different, do something different, be something different, and you have that opportunity each and every day. But can you look at the doors in front of you and go, which one do I want to walk through? Which one do I want to see? Which one do I want to go at? You know what I mean?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. So, you a video gamer by any chance, Specs?
Yeah, I game a little bit when I have time.
Yeah. What's your game?
Right now I've been on Apex Legends pretty heavy, but mostly I like the fighters, man, like Tekken and Street Fighter and
Oh,
Soul Calibur and stuff like that.
so me, once upon a time. I guess I'll do Street Fighter now. I'll try to do Street Fighter tonight. That's what I will try to do, and I can
hmm
actually use this part of my stream. So the first 4 pages of my book is a Twitch stream, so I can put a video game of my choice on there. So the one I'm going to put is Street Fighter with or at least a sprite looking Street Fighter, so that people I can't get sued for copyright and infringement stuff. But the thing about it is, I never actually tried drawing Street Fighter. It's gonna be fun. But the thing is, right? I used to be once upon a time. I'm not this good anymore, and I haven't been this good for a long time. Back in the Street Fighter Alpha 3 era, I was good enough to go against champions, people that had actually played great. I was good enough. I wasn't good
Okay.
enough to win very many matches, but I could hold my own against anybody, including the very best. Once upon a time, I was that good.
See, I
Now,
see back then, I wasn't that good, but in that era, I was good at Marvel or Capcom. So that was like my game back then.
ooh, I actually intimidated this is back in the arcade days, so you know this. So there always would be these guys that would come in and just take over the machine. So my team was Ryu and the Hulk. That was my team for Marvel versus Capcom. I actually like the Hulk. He's really straightforward. You just smash people,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I was again. This was still when I was at my really really best. It got to the point that the really good players left me alone to play. They
Dang.
actually they all tried their luck against me, and I smashed them all. And then after that, they all backed away and just let me play. It's because that's it. Like, when you are so good at a game that no one can touch you, and that, again, I'm not there anymore. At this point, mentally speaking, I still know the moves, but you
Mhm.
don't have the muscle memory anymore to
Oh yeah,
be.
that's totally understandable. Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't have it anymore to be competitive. Mentally, you still know what to do, but your hands, not so much, and you get worked. I actually fought when Dan can kick your ass now. you know you're not as good as you were, right? But 20 years ago, I was good enough that I could go against anybody in almost any fighting game, not just Street Fighter, any fighting game. That hold my own. Like Street Fighter was my best game, but I was decent at Tekken. I was decent in Mortal Kombat. I was good enough that I wasn't you could beat me in those games, but you ain't walking on me, right? So
yeah, I thought I was good in Tekken until I went to college, and like I was getting mocked like everybody. Like in my I guess my whole time in my neighborhood, I was good. I went to college, and it was a whole different level. I was like, wow, I really.
So when I was Tekken. So we're in the Alpha 3 era, the Caribbean champion literally went to the university right down the street. So he would spar. So one day, I didn't know this until after I fought him. So he comes in, he starts playing, goes, Vega, interesting. I beat him in the first round. I beat him. He's like, oh my God, you're good. He gets this like big grin on his face. He goes, okay, I'm going to play you for real this time. So he picks Ryu. It is the craziest fight I've ever been a part of in my life. That guy was good. And we would still, like, it took me a long time, but I finally beat the dude. But man, it's so fun to play somebody that's just like, you're good and they're better. And you're just matching up because you don't, again, for him, still wasn't on his level. But I was good enough that he'd actually have to work at it, right? And for me, he was so much better. So every time we fought, I got better. So it was just like, I love that because that was such a rare thing for me. Because, it's like you get to a point where you're so good at a game that very few people can see the moves you'd see. Like you just know the moves really well. For Tekken, it was Violet, Lee Chanlon.
Yes, that's my guy too.
I would love that Hitman stance, man. I was evil, just freaking evil with that guy. I deliberately did some. Yeah, so my favorite thing he did is that thing where he would put his boot foot on the throat and just like kick really hard on the neck.
Yeah,
I did that on purpose. I always set that up on purpose. Because again,
the little snap kick too. When he just like a little quick kick and then he just hit
I love that. I also was able to do his unblockable kick. His unblockable kick was beautiful when you got it. It was quick enough if you set it up just right. You could actually hit them when they were getting up, which is just I love doing that to people. I was evil in that game, but I wasn't like the very, very best. But I was like I in my heyday, back in my day, I was good. Now, I'll beat a beginner. I'll still beat a beginner, but I won't beat anybody with any real practice or skill because you just don't have the practice, the time, or the you just don't have you become an adult, you get older, you don't have time for this stuff anymore.
Yeah, definitely no time. Like today, I played the game right before here. That's the first time I played it in probably like 3 weeks. Like, it just got too much to do.
It's
crazy.
I play a collectible card game called Shadowverse because card games are quick. Like you play 5-10 minute games. So I'll play like I might spend an hour playing that game, but that's it. It's an hour. It's done. Time to do something else. Because
speaking of card games, new Yu-Gi-Oh game come out, and it's very popular now. So the whole way you play Yu-Gi-Oh has changed. So like
I heard it looks completely. I remember the old days where you just like the classic like cartoon stuff, and then they did once it got to the XYZ, it's like I lost then they went to pendulums and then links and I have no idea what I'm doing anymore. It's just like one of those like what are we doing here? I'm just summoning my whole deck. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And first turn you lose, like.
Yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I when I played it again, game like this was back in the days of Pot of Greed, Delinquent Duel, Yatagarasu, and anyone who's listening to this game is like, what the hell? I'm talking about particular cards right here. Everybody remembers Yata. That played the game way back in the day because that guy would just beat you. Hey, you can't draw. Good game.
Yeah. Change your heart.
Yeah.
Rebo.
And none, from what I can tell, almost none of the magic cards, almost none of the traps matter anymore. It's all about effect monsters, from what I can tell.
Special summons and rituals and all that.
Yeah, that's what it's about now. So it's like I'm like, okay, it's a completely different game than what I played way back in the day, which is good. I got back into Magic for a little bit. Like after playing Magic for a while, I was just like, nah, man, I actually have to think when I play Magic. I don't have to think when I play Yu-Gi-Oh. So I went away from Yu-Gi-Oh. and went into Magic at that point. I kind of regret it a little bit because I was still okay. Again, I did enjoy. I had a reasoning Dark Magician deck that I always enjoyed playing. So that was my favorite. That was my favorite deck.
Was, Son of the Mass Beast and Buster Blader. That was my card.
Buster Blader is a decent card. Right, so Mass Beast is all right, but I mean, yeah, again.
So I had all the magic cards and summon it from the deck and stuff. So like, it worked. And then I had the red eyes for the fusions with the Buster Blader. So yeah, it was great back then, but now I see it's nothing.
No. We're old farts. We'd show up, we'd play a card, and just watch ourselves just die. Just like, and you're dead. Oh, I feel foolish. But that's the way it should be too. Like, we've had our time doing those things. Now we have our time doing other things, right? And like I said, I'm being creative. You're being creative. And I probably should find an image to draw. I'm going to go with Ryu throwing a fireball.
Okay.
Yeah, good old Ryu. Because basically, we all know, like, Ryu is the man. He always has been the man, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, he's still in every game, from what I can tell.
Yes, he's in every game. He's in every single one. I want to say he was missing in 3, but I can't remember.
No, he's not. Ryu and Ken are the only, like, when you play the first version of 3, are the only 2 familiar characters.
Oh, okay.
And then they add Chun-Li and Akuma eventually, but it's we're gonna go with the classic. I'm gonna go with the classic, the really, really classic Ryu, because I don't know. I got a warning. I have no idea. Again, no idea what I'm doing, but we'll do it. We'll give this a magical try, because you never, again, folks, the secret to life: never let not knowing what you're doing stop you. Right? But I mean, Street Fighter was my jam. I probably should have done this a long, long time ago. But so, who you drawing?
I guess I'm finna to go with Guile.
Guile's good. Guile's music, and by the way, folks, it is true. Guile's music really does go with absolutely everything. I the first time I saw that meme, I'm like, no, that can't be true. And then I watched it. It's like, no, it is true. Guile's music does go with everything. How does that work?
I don't know, man. I guess it's a good old American way, I guess.
Yes. It's like, was Guile your guy in Street Fighter?
Actually, Charlie, I like Charlie.
Charlie's good. I think Charlie's a little underrated, to be honest.
Yeah, I was a Charlie player. Now, I mean, I can play Ken pretty good, but it was like either Charlie or Sagat.
Sagat is amazing. Sagat's the freaking man. He just is the man. I got Guile's theme music stuck in my head. I'm just gonna blame you, Specks. I'm just gonna blame you right now.
I'll take the heat for it.
Yeah, you'll take the heat. Yeah, I somehow figured you'd be okay with it, my friend. I thought you'd be like, how dare you? But it's like, no, I got it. Guile's music. Charlie was good. Charlie was like a faster Guile. He wasn't quite as strong. Didn't hit quite as hard as Guile did, but his combos were sweet, man. I loved his combos.
Yeah, you didn't have to charge as much either.
No. That, again, he was faster. He was designed to be a quicker. He was just designed to be quicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Yeah. Yeah. So, but I remember that era, kind of, sort of. I have the basics of Ryu's form figured out. The basics. We're gonna find out if I can actually make it good, but we'll find out. One of the cool things I realized, like the old school guys did, is they cheated on his feet. They didn't wait. They cheated. There's not. You don't have all the. Again, you don't. One of the things I've learned about art is you don't actually have to show absolutely everything. Let's make sure you don't have to show absolutely everything in the art to make it, make it what it is. And so there's like, he's got 3 toes in one thing. And I'm like, okay, so
he might be a Ninja Turtle.
Hey, you know what? Seriously, I would be so down for a Ninja Turtle Street Fighter crossover. Sign me up. I am that kind of whore. I will freely admit that.
They put him in Injustice. I thought that was pretty crazy.
Yes. So I'm giving Ryu some longer hair, because why not? But he's actually not a complicated form, although I don't think I got him quite right the first time. That's okay. But I think his form is not super hard. It's the it's amazing how quickly it comes together. You just see him, and it's just like, there you go. And then Hadouken. I'm gonna let you know another little secret there, Specs. When I did the Street Fighter, I always thought when Ryu threw the fireball, when I first heard it in Street Fighter, that he was just saying bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
That's how I felt about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, so
whatever.
Well, actually, okay, Sub-Zero is the epitome of bullshit in fighting games. He's the epitome. Although I love Sub-Zero. I'm not going to say I hate Sub-Zero. I love him, but that freeze, man. You're like, oh, man, I got caught. What's he going to do to me now? Right? So that was Sub-Zero.
Especially the ice clones. That's all get caught.
Oh, that was dirty. They gave him that. I'm like, why did you give him that? Why did you give him that? He didn't need that. Why'd you give it to him? So, not too bad. I'm going to do another sketch. You want to see what I did? Like, for the basic form? I think I got the form nailed down. I got to work on getting the figure better, but the initial form, this is the rough. Think of it as like the rough.
Okay.
Yeah. The initial form, I think, is good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the picture is great. It's my first time. But it's my first time, man. But I think the base form of how he looks, his form, his ability to I'm gonna show everybody here this again. I'm trying to draw Ryu. This is my first sketch. And yes, I know I got work to do. It's okay. So I tried sketch number 1. I'm gonna try sketch number 2. And I'm gonna try to do this better, because it's Ryu, and I should do this a little better because he is the man or something. I do honestly think, though, the Street Fighter series would benefit if he was a boss and not a playable character.
That's when you get Evil Ryu. That's when he comes.
Yeah, but the reason I said that is because I think, well, even if he's just like, so I read the comic, right? I read the Street Fighter comic, and he actually had evolved. He evolves beyond the Dark Hado a little bit, and he still has it, but he's mastered it. So it goes with his ability to. It goes with his ability to, hold his own. But he's mastered it. So now he's got like this combo Dark Hado, Light Hado thing. And I thought that's a badass version of Ryu. That would be
Yeah.
fun. Just to have him as like a bonus, like as either a bonus boss character, right?
Yeah.
Or but yeah, just I think he'd be a real, or even the final boss, right? Or a bonus boss or a final boss. He's in the game, but he's got like this ultimate version of himself that's even beyond Evil Ryu, but he's still got like some of Evil Ryu's like sick and twisted moves. But he's got also like other things to go with it. So it's like, oh, okay. This will be
Kind of like
amazing.
a Oni, like that version of.
No. He's not okay. He's not all like like evil. He's still Ryu. He's the human. But he's almost got like both. He's got his normal attacks. He's got Dark Hado attacks, and then he has like this sick combination of both. So he's mastered both sides of the martial art. So it's like, crap. So he's tougher than Evil Ryu because he can do more stuff than Evil Ryu can do.
Mm-hmm.
He's tougher than Akuma because Akuma has completely gone to the dark side.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, oh my gosh. Right? It's like he's like this ultimate undefeatable monster. Like that's a perfect bonus boss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be. And then I was thinking back the Alpha 3 days. He'd probably be faster. Combos. He come out faster than the normal Ryu. Like how Kuma was in Alpha 3. Like Kuma was like
Kuma was okay. He was okay in that game. I actually thoroughly I did enjoy that they went with Classic and Bison for like the final boss.
It took me I couldn't beat him till I got grown.
Until you got what?
Till I got grown. Like I dope. Yeah, I couldn't beat M Bison on Alpha 3.
Yeah, his sight, like his big move is annoying as hell. In Alpha 3 though, my favorite fighter, if I had to go back like just term to use, and no, maybe not my best fighter, my favorite was Cammy. She's fun. Like she's
really?
super fun.
Okay.
She's
I had a friend who made Cammy.
Yeah, no, she's anyone who's good with Cammy, like you're like you're good. Like you're in every match you go against. Even today, Cammy, every match you have her, she's good enough that she can beat most people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Good cross ups.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, she was fast. She could go mid range. She could go like, and she had answers to fireballs, right? She could answer her big weakness was go against Zangief. You really got to hit that
grapples.
Guy. Yeah, that's it. Like Zangief was her weakness, but because she has to go inside, she had to go inside to hurt you. So, but she's evasive enough if you are good enough with her. You can still beat Zangief. It's just,
you gotta bait, and a lot of baiting.
Yeah. You gotta make him commit. Right? So I didn't think we'd be talking so much Street Fighter here. That's kind of cool. But no, it's just like I remember those days very well, and like I said, I enjoyed them. Street Fighter definitely made me the man I am today.
That's saying a lot.
Yes. Well, I don't know. That might be a good thing, or it might be a bad thing. You might have to ask, some of my friends. Like, but I'll let you like it was my game, man. It was totally my game. I knew what I was doing. Hadouken. Still got like this really. Although I got his hair a lot more right this time. I got to put an ear in, which I'll put in right there. Got his hair right. Did his hair. I figured out where I use hair. And I'm putting his bullshit fireball together because who doesn't love Ryu's bullshit fireballs?
Yeah.
And that's yeah. I don't know if I don't know if you ever played any of the latest iterations of Street Fighter, but as the games got more like somewhat realer in terms of how fighting IQ works, Zangief's now a monster. I remember when that boy sucked. Like really sucked.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. Like I think Street Fighter 4 when he's like turned up really like
yeah.
he breaking fireballs, like like doing it like anything.
Well, yeah, it's like
command grabs, like just different combos, like combo into a command grab into his ultimate back to the super.
Well, they still I love that they still kept the Germans and the spinning pile driver. But that spinning pile driver is now just an evil freaking thing to deal with because he can do it so quick. Gotcha. Going for the ride. It's like no.
Don't let it be an EX power driver either.
Yeah, no, it's over. It's over. What happened? 80% of your house gone. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. But I mean, he sucked for so long. I mean, it's actually kind of cool that they made him good. So I'm not gonna lie, this version of Ryu, although I still have to, I'm not gonna color this one either because I think it's better. It's not. It's still got a bit of ways to go, and that's again one of those things you can't be afraid.
This is how my gal coming out, you know.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool guile. That is an angry guile, angry guile. And anybody that has watching, listening, I'm sorry, you put that song in my head, Specks. I'm sorry, brother. It's gonna be there. I want you to share my pain just a little bit. No, it's all good, man. No, Guile. I remember like Guile in the first game was a monster.
Yeah, the leg sweeps.
Yeah, the leg sweeps, but also he was good everywhere. Like on the ground, in the air, it didn't matter. He could do anything. So it was like he was actually tougher to beat in the very first game than Balrog was. Balrog was easy. But
yeah, like I never had trouble with him until recently in the later games. Then that's when I started having problems with him.
Well, yeah, he became again another one of those characters that when he starts, like you suck. Now, nope, you don't suck.
Yeah.
Big fan of Sagat. Sagat's really good. And then Bison still, it feels like a really, really incredibly dirty to use. But
yes, the head stumps are still
are awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, the head stomps are what make him amazing. I gotta say, I'm not gonna say that this is a good Ryu. I'm not gonna pretend it is. But what I am gonna say is I think I did a little bit better. Because I'm actually inking this and it actually looks a little bit more. It's better. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's better.
Okay. I see the form tighten up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that 3 toes I see?
Yes, it's 3 8. It's 3 toes. That's right. I'm doing 3 toes because frankly, folks, you have to be very much all about the 3-toed Ryu in classic 16-bit Street Fighter. I ain't gonna cheat. But it's amazing what you learn when you actually start drawing stuff. You're like, hey, this is where these guys shortcutted a little bit.
Doing my own comic book, I can like look at other panels from like DC and Marvel and stuff and see their little shortcuts that their artists doing now. I was like, man, like this, they got no detail in this panel. They just spit.
No, but again, it's about getting it done, right? Good is relative. It's about getting her done. So I'm gonna try one more attempt at Mr. Ryu. And then I'm going to go and do what I'm supposed to do, which is something for my book. Because, you know, I'm a trained professional or something, Specs.
As long as you know it's something.
Yeah, exactly. I am a trained something or other. But, you know, it is what it is. And trying something a little different here with round 3. I am actually drawing his hair as a full thing before I color it because I think what makes the fireball stance kind of hard too is he's actually scrunched up his arm and his like face. So it's like I got half a face here, you know, and it's like, okay. So this is why you're so hard to draw. Because you got only half a face for me to work with. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I'll get you, I think.
One thing I missed, how they used to have the hands inside the fireballs when they used to come out.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Beautiful thing is with the practice of how I'm drawing Ryu, I don't have to worry about like copyright stuff. People can recognize the story I'm telling without actually. So it's like, hey, this version of Ryu might just work for my nefarious purposes, or something. I don't know. Again, I say I'm a trained professional, but you know, truth is, folks, I know pretty much nothing, but I just go and do stuff and let good things happen. That's what that's what I do, or something to that effect anyway. Okay, so his arm goes here. Yeah, his ability to really do this is, yeah. The other thing too, yeah. Here's the other thing I've learned about drawing. This is what I've learned, and maybe you've shared the same thing.
Okay.
The stuff that I think is going to be super hard, I somehow pull off. Right? Somehow the stuff that I think is going to be really easy kicks my ass.
It'd be like that somehow.
Yeah. It owns me. It turns me into like, Josh, you think you got this? You don't. And I'm like, but why don't I got this? It looks so easy in my head. And then they're like, lies. You don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, okay. Like, you ever feel like that? Is there what seemed hard to you? Seemed easy to that you mastered, and what seemed easy to you that it just owned your butt.
See, I can't think now, but like easy stuff like this anything easy in general, you know, just you overestimate it. You're like, oh, this be nothing for me to do. Then you try to do it and it's harder. Like it's way harder than you expected because you already have an idea. Oh, I just do this, do that, and it's done. Really, it's more to it, and now you got to backtrack, fix your errors you did into it because you overextended yourself trying to do it. Versus, you know, something you don't know, you think it's gonna be difficult. You're trying to take every little step, you know, trying to make it right, so you don't miss anything. Versus, you know what you think you know what you're doing, and you miss a couple steps, and you got to backtrack and redo everything. So, I mean, it's a lot of things, man.
Yes, I got you. I don't know if I made Ryu or if I made like a really weird version of Jabba the Hutt, but we'll keep working on this. I am a trained professional or something. I don't know.
So I mean, it's more detail to it, you know. Let me see.
Yeah, on a second here. Take a quick look. See,
Guile. Yeah.
Hey, dude, I love the Americana tattoo. Classically Guile all the time. Very cool. Like I said, he was in the first game. He's the character they've changed the least, I think.
Oh, I see that. Well, he's more. He became more like Charlie in a later game.
Yes.
But then, like in 5, they brought Charlie back, or Nash, how they call him now. So I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's weird.
I read the comic. It was like, okay, go nuts. You know.
I mean, it makes sense though because he is in the military, and they would refer to him as the last name, so it makes sense. So, but
I like that they kind of made him zombie-like.
Yeah, cyborg. Yeah.
Yeah, they made him cyborg zombie. It's like
I wish it would have kept him being Shadow Man in the whole Shadow Lady storyline. That was pretty dope.
That's cool. I'll have to check that out.
You didn't know that? You play Marvel's Capcom? You never seen that?
No, I haven't seen it. No. I got to Marvel vs. Capcom the first one. So I played on the first 3 versions of Marvel vs. Capcom. So I got to the first game. You fight, if I'm not mistaken, you fight Thanos at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's that's Street Fighters. Marvel. I mean, Marvel Heroes versus Street Fighter. I think that's what.
Okay, because I thought the last great boss. Okay, yes, you fight Cyber Akuma in that game too. So that's the Street Fighter. So you fight. You don't fight. Maybe it's Onslaught. Is it Onslaught you fight in Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yeah, Onslaught is the Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got Onslaught in Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, you fight this like weird world beater.
I think it's called Abyss. Maybe it was called Abyss.
What?
Abyss.
Yeah, maybe Abyss. Yeah, he had 3 forms, and you fought like there's big form, little form, and like mirror form. It was weird, but yeah, and then 3. I never actually really went deep into 3, because I thought Cable was bullshit. I thought Cable was total bullshit with all his guns and bombs. Like, you are the
I main Cable. Cable's one of my favorite X-Men.
But you got to admit the fact that Cable stuff hurts you even when you blocked was lame. Now, like some of that should, but I mean, some of that was like, oh, come on, man, you gotta give him something else.
Depending on the skill level of the person, I would do his alternate special, the time flip. So now I have 2 cables on the screen at the same time. So double damage.
Yeah, it's just dude. How could you? It's so evil, man. So evil.
Yeah, man.
Just
and how his heavy punch with just a regular pistol.
Yeah, he literally pistol whipped somebody. His regular like long punch was the gun, like he fired the gun, and then he had grenades and he had like
harpoon.
Yeah, I mean, just he was all about distance. It was so frustrating to play him. I remember fighting one guy at the arcade. He had the ultimate, what I call the ultimate cheese lineup: Cable, Cyclops, Spider-Man. It's like I call it when I saw it, I was like, dude, that's like the cheesiest lineup ever. He goes, yeah, I know, but it works, and it did. It's just like so lame.
Spider-Man. Iron Man was pretty cheap. I did BB Hood and I like the Darkstalkers characters. Morgan.
Oh no, the Darkstalkers characters were super fun. I love Morgana. Yeah. Morgana was great.
Every now and then I do a serve bot or Sun.
Okay, I loved so my team for Marvel vs. Capcom was Venom. I enjoyed Venom. He was fun. I liked Hayato. Hayato was super, super, super fun. And I enjoyed Gambit.
Yes, Gambit. Yeah, I like Gambit. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed Gambit. So Hayato was just the crazy guy at the sword. He'd come in and do some sick little moves by himself. I loved him for Cable because once he got through Cable's like the defenses, done. Strider Rui was also really fun too, but I did prefer Hayato. So
Jin, Storm, and Cable sometimes. But I probably switch switch out Jen for Morgan every now and then.
Morgan's like I said, Morgan was sweet. Like I anyone that had a problem with Morgan, like I really enjoyed Morgan. She was very she was just fun. She was like kind of like a Ryu, but she wasn't. She was a lot more like she had a nice mixture, I think, between Ryu and Chun-Li. She
Well,
had Chun-Li's
I say more like Kun, because she had the floating fireball.
Yes.
Also with the uppercut as well.
Oh, her uppercut was sweet. Her uppercut was pretty sweet. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
So I made like my Ryu. I'm gonna call this Elvis Ryu because he's got like the Elvis hair. I'm actually gonna color this one, so it's gonna take a little longer. But yeah, I have Elvis Ryu, ladies and gentlemen. That is the theme of this podcast. It's all about the Elvis honka honka burning fireball or honka honka burning Hadouken. That's what it was. Honka honka burning Hadouken. Right. I've got some honka honka burning Hadouken. Right, just having some fun with this. But yeah, no, he was
the blue suede shoe.
That's what, oh, okay. So we got to go here. Did you ever play Clay Fighter?
I did, but I wasn't like when it was out. I wasn't good at it. So I played
the
N64 version.
So the character I will always have a special place in my heart for was Blue Suede Goo, the Elvis impersonator. I will always have a special place in my heart. He was so bad, but he was also like on there were levels to the bad. I actually really enjoyed the levels to the bad.
Like those fighters back then, like Bloody Roar and Instinct and Clay Fighters. I was never good at. Especially
Killer Instinct was all combo. If you could master the combo system, you were good. But it didn't feel like the other fighters, right? Now I have to count this game as a fighting game, although I don't. The one I sucked at, or the one but I don't treat it at the same level either. Is Super Smash Brothers. It's a fighter, but it's more it is literally a button masher's dream. Now, I'm not going to say there isn't high level skill in Smash Brothers. I'm not going to ever say that because I know the really good guys can do everything.
Yeah, I've seen some of the tournaments. It's pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, no, it's amazing how much how good some of those people really are. But I just really like the controls. I'm used to these like super hyper combo, like different button moves and stuff like that. And Smash Brothers is very much it's 2 buttons, maybe 3. Let's go, right? At least the original. I can't talk about the more recent games because I haven't played with a Nintendo Switch or anything like that.
It's still the same thing, but all the add no directions, making moves change up and so much. So like it's still pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's a skill game. I'm never gonna say like it's not a skill game, but what I will say is for me at least it lost some of that. Like it didn't feel like Street Fighter. And again, this is one of those signs you're old.
Wait, it might now. Ryu's on the game now, so it might.
Oh, they put Ryu in the game.
Everybody's on the game now. Everybody's on the game.
Yeah, I saw they put Cloud Strife in the game. I saw that they put
it's Cloud, Terry Beauregard,
wow,
Kazuya from Tekken.
Yes.
Sephiroth.
Of course, Sephiroth has to be in the game. He's like the greatest bad guy ever, at least for Final Fantasy.
Snake from Metal Gear.
Wow. I know Zelda. I know Mario, Zelda are still in the game.
Yeah, Mario, Zelda, Link, Donkey Kong, Bowser, King Koopa, Kirby, Meta Knight, King Dedede. It's so many people. Like I think they got over 100 characters on the game now.
Wow! So it's a monster franchise now.
The last character they put on there was Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, cool! They even brought that in. Oh my gosh, Kingdom Hearts. Now, if you gotta talk, so like the RPG I kind of wish I had played a little bit more as Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, I can say I played all of them except the one that was on DS.
Okay, so how is it? Is it? Am I right? It looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, all the games are pretty. The storyline's great. Actions pretty good. They the fighting style they incorporated into the new Final Fantasy game. Well, the Final Fantasy VII remake is the same fighting style as Kingdom Hearts. So
Yep.
it's great.
I haven't played the remake yet, but it's just time. Mostly it's been time.
Yeah, same here. I haven't played the remake yet. Like, I think Kingdom Hearts is probably really the last game I have bought.
So the game that is the game of my dreams, ladies and gentlemen, is I love the Persona series. I love that series a lot. That series is fun. That series is amazing. It's a great RPG series. That was the last RPG I finished. Right now, I am doing, when I do have spare time, I play card games primarily, but the nostalgia game I'm playing right now is Chrono Trigger, because I love me some Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, that's a throwback. Yeah.
Well, hey, like, I don't know anyone that hates Chrono Trigger. Like, seriously, if you hate Chrono Trigger, right? I don't want to know. Why. Like, they're like, it's a really fun. It's an old school.
After you beat that, you should go try Earthbound.
I want to. It's actually, again, that one of those games I wish I had gotten when it was available, but no one thought that game would be good. And unbeknownst to us, it's like amazing. It's amazing, folks. It really, really is.
Well, I didn't play it when it originally came out. I had an emulator on my PSP. And I played that. It was a great game. I wish I could find a part 2, but the first one was great. Like, it was
I heard. I no one complains about that game. Yeah. I mean, it's not a perfect game. But it's still an amazing game, right? I remember, like, the Angry Video Game Nerd reviewed it because he actually got to play it. It's like, okay, I've heard all these good things. I'll finally play it. The only thing he says is that, okay, this game's amazing. However, it's not quite perfect. It does have some flaws to it. He pointed them out, and they're fair. I'm not going to disagree with everything he said there. But going back, like, no, Earthbound was. I've seen it. My friends, everybody I know who's played that game has sworn by it. Right, so I cannot fault anyone that goes to me. It's like, this game's the shit. You gotta play it. Okay.
Yeah.
You talked me into it. I will do it. At some point, anyway. When I get time. Because I'm old.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not going nowhere. It's going to be there for you.
It's going to be there for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
I gotcha. No, but my Chrono Trigger is my current nostalgia kick. I also got Final Fantasy VI because I love me some Final Fantasy VI too.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't seem to judge me too harshly on that one either.
Final Fantasy games is I don't know, like
I won't hold it against you.
They gotta catch my attention. Not all of them, I say, oh, the story or the characters, grab me. Like Final Fantasy 7 was cool. I think 8, that's one with Squall was pretty cool.
Yes.
I played 10. And I think I tried 12.
12 is okay. Guilty. 12 is my. So 12 and 13. 12 could have been good, but they made it in that game that you didn't actually have to play the game, which sucked. Because why would you, like, if you're not playing the game, why are you, like, playing the game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So that was the problem with 12. Is the gambit system was too automatic, right? So they took away some of the fun of actually playing the game, and it's too bad because that game has a surprisingly big amount of depth to it. I'm one of like 3 people in the world that like 13, and I'm not ashamed to admit it.
I haven't got 13 yet. Like some other ones I played. I think I played 3. I think that's the one where like the characters had names. They just like the mage or the warrior archer.
Yep.
I'd really enjoy Tactics though.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Like I was real heavy in the PlayStation one and the one that was on Game Boy.
Yep. Well, I'm going to be very curious how they do. Like Tactics as a concept came about in Final Fantasy 7. Remember, you got to protect the Condor reactor.
Yeah.
It's the early Tactics engine. So I'm curious how they're going to do that in the new one.
Well, the new one's weird because they don't leave the first city.
Well, I knew that. No, because I knew that was likely going to be the case. Because if you remember when you played Final Fantasy 7 the first time, you actually played the whole game the first time. First, like 6 hours of the game, you're in the city. Like you don't leave it at all. It's the city is actually a big part of the early game, right? So I
believe you leave. I believe you leave and come back too. Like
you come back later in the game. It's not the same when you come back later in the game, right? Because you're coming back for 2 reasons. You can come back later in the game to get yourself some cool little like extras. But at the same time, there are some really cool weapons if you go back and explore once you're allowed to go back in. You have that access a little later on in the game, and then there's the Shinra final battle, right, which is also important but for different reasons. Yeah. So, but it's not the same. But the first, I'd say 6 hours of the game, you're in Midgar. You're just there. I had a hunch that the end of the first act with the original President Shinra's death and folks, if you you've never played the old one, this game's 20 plus years old, the original, and that's what I'm going with. Spoiler alert, kind of, sort of. It's been 20 years. I'm not going to care that much. But the thing about it is, right, I figured like that would be the first major act. So I'm expecting the second this part 2 when they release it. I expect them to have it where Cloud. That one is where I expect Aerith to die. That's the one. Or
I would have the same hope, but like they released DLC and it was Yuffie, that part you never played for, and she was in the city and it never happened. So it was kind of crazy.
Yeah. So I mean. But Yuffie's going to join the team. Like really, like you're going to have the option to get her in the next one. Like Yuffie's going to join the team. You got the opportunity. Like you'll get Vincent. You might get the Sid. Like Sid. Like if they're going to end the second game. Like if I were to do this game in I feel like this is a 5-part. They could do this in up to 5 parts. I think it should be 4. Act 1 is about where I figured they would go. Act 2 should be right up to Aerith's death. Act 3 should be Cloud getting up to Cloud restoring his memories, and then part 4 should be the rest of the game. That's what I think it should be. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but that's what I think they should do. Like they could break the game up into 4 parts, and honestly, clean up the story a little bit at the end. They can
do it just like they did it like back in the day. You know, I think it was 4 CDs, so they can do it just like that.
Yeah, it was 3. I remember it was 3 CDs.
It was 3 CDs. Okay,
I think
8 was 4.
I think 8's 4. If I'm not mistaken, I think 8 was 4.
Yeah.
But no, I remember going back like disc 1 and disc 2. You can do an awful lot of the game in the first go around. Like all the bonus, like you can wait till disc 3 to do the bonus stuff, but you can do a lot of it in disc 2. I actually hope they give the ultimate limit break, the Omni. I didn't play it. I hope because you could get the Omni slash. By the way, here is presenting to you, ladies and gentlemen, Elvis Ryu. Hunka hunka burn in love. Hunka burn in love.
I like it.
Like it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it Elvis Ryu. Just for I'm gonna call her the Fireball, and then I'll call her a drawing for me. But no, like I feel like you could get 4 really solid like parts to the game, and I think people would feel like gratified for that. I don't know if you could get a. I don't know if you could do that with 5. You'd have to be very, very specific with what you're doing with the 5th one. I don't know. Yeah, I feel 5 might be pushing it. I think you get 4 really solid parts to the remake.
It also depends how much DLC they do. They could do like they can remake the whole Vincent game, like that was like a sequel almost.
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I think what I really hope they explore in the like remainder of the game, things I would love to see a little bit more of. I love me the Turks. So I mean, just like more of them would be great. I something else in the middle of the game would be fun. I love Sid. Sid's one of my favorite characters. But I feel like in terms of the main story arc, he comes in kind of late, like late into the end of Act 1, early Act 2. And I kind of feel like he, of all the characters, although he got some love, and when Cloud loses his mind and Tifa leaves the party for a little bit. Yes, folks, I'm spoiling the game. Shut up. But I thought Sid could get some more action. I think Red 13 could do some interesting stuff too. And like I said, we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do. I think, and there's definitely some DLC possibilities for sure, right? So, who is your favorite of the 7 cast?
Vincent.
Vincent, yeah, everybody like Vincent.
Tifa was cool.
By the way, fine, all done. The fireball is blue now too.
Oh, blue. But I mean, Tifa was cool. But yeah, Vincent is definitely my favorite. I even like based one of my characters in my comic book off of his character design. So like, I enjoyed him.
I love his ultimate weapon.
Zach, pretty cool.
See that actually, you know what? If you are going to put some cool DLC, you could put some more Zach centric stuff in the game. I think people would dig that. Because Cloud and Zach do have a very interesting relationship. And the one thing I kind of feel about it is they didn't explore it as much as they could have. And I think that'd be actually kind of really cool. You get like a glimpse. Towards the end of the game, if you go back into the laboratory, you get like this really cool bonus flashback with Zach. And I always thought it was like, I would love to see kind of that play out in a different way and see maybe get a little bit more Zach and stuff. Maybe I don't know. We'll see what they do. It could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So how's your comic coming along, man?
It's pretty good, man. I don't know what was going on last time. The last time we talked, you was at the end of my campaign.
Yes.
It's funded 3rd issue. Now I'm currently working on a 4th one. Kickstarter is gonna drop this weekend for that.
Oh, congrats, man!
Yeah,
cool.
So that's gonna be the 4th issue. It's gonna close out this current story arc. And also it's gonna launch. I'm gonna have a spinoff series. That's a manga with one of the characters that was introduced in the last issue.
That's awesome. So, just out of curiosity, my friend, manga? What's your favorite manga?
What I'm reading. See, I've been more into like the light novels, but like
me too. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. That's kind of how
light novel. I'm reading ReZero right now.
Okay, for me, it's Classroom of the Elite. I love the game theory concept in it.
Okay.
My manga of choice right now is Spy X Family. It is just silly.
So I want to read that one, but I was on Radiant and I was on Vigilante. My Hero Vigilante.
Yeah.
What's the other one I had? Can't think. I just slipped my mind. I can't think what the 3rd one was, but Tokyo Ghoul.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I finished Grand Blue Fantasy. I'm a big Final Fantasy 6 guy. The same creative team is kind of the artist in there. It's like I'm in. You could go in. It's like airships and pirates and yeah. I had a blast reading that. But yeah, Spy X Family is my silly, goofy shit. It is just me. It's like Agent Twilight, Nora. One's a spy, one's an assassin, and they have a little girl who can read both their minds because she's a telepath, and they all have secrets, and they all don't know. It is kind of like the sweetest romantic comedy / like silliest BS you'll ever read. It's like it's fun. Like it's a very, very fun book, and it's just yeah. So that's why I'm enjoying it. I read like the last serious manga I've read fully from start to finish was Full Metal Alchemist. It's kind of hard to top that, so I decided to go down like a little bit more of a fun route. So that's me. That's where I'm at. That's cool, man. You're a manga fan.
Yeah, so, I mean, I grew up, in that Toonami era, the original Toonami. I was kind of I won't say I was too old, but when Naruto came out, I seen the first Naruto with Shippuden. Yeah, I was kind of in other things. I didn't really get into it, But I was there for Bleach though, but Shippuden I wasn't into, so I missed the whole hype, of all that stuff. And
so I am torn on Bleach. I am so torn on it. On the one hand, I think the battle scenes, especially when he goes against the Soul Society, are awesome. There's so much filler, right? And not in the manga, but in the actual show, it's just like, I can't watch the show, but I do enjoy the manga, so it is what it is, right?
I mean, the filler's not bad, but it's just unnecessary.
Yeah, so here's my guilty pleasure. I still watch it. I don't care. Fairy Tail.
I never got into that. And one of my friends tried to get me that with it, but
it's long. It requires some investment. I can't fault anyone for not doing it, but I love the characters. They're just fun characters. It is a battle anime. It's Dragon Ball Z without the episodic, like one episode to power up. Like that was the thing I hated about Dragon Ball Z. I still remember this. Frieza leveling up to his ultimate level, and it would take 30 minutes to get to that, and you still didn't quite get it all done. You had to wait till the next. It's like, oh god, stop. No, I don't want that. Like, don't give me that crap. Just give me good fights. Fairy Tail does that, so it's my guilty pleasure there. I'm still 12. I just realized that having this conversation with you. I'm still 12 Specks. I hope you don't hold it against me.
I won't. I'll try not to.
Okay. That's cool. I don't want to lose my like cool or uncool or whatever the hell it is I have with you. So. But dude, congrats. Seriously, with everything like you're doing, that is a serious. Those are cool accomplishments. So I'm going to ask this: in terms of manga lets you kind of slow down a little bit, like comics, like a traditional comic. You got like, we'll say 30 pages. Like that, I'm probably being a little generous there, right? But let's say just for the sake of this discussion, 30 pages. A manga, you get something like 60. Right, if you really want to, and you get that space to do like character stuff. Is that kind of why you chose the manga, like for the second spinoff?
Kind of. It was more to deal with the storyline of the character. But I'm trying to get a feel because my flagship, Legacy of the View, is more like a hybrid, but. And just watching how people react, like I'm talking, like I'm selling books now. I'm trying to, broaden my customers, and just talking to regular people who read manga or watch anime or watch the movies on Disney Plus, and I just trying to feel like, okay, y'all read the One Piece, y'all read the Solo Leveling, the God of High School, Dr. Stone, all that stuff. How come y'all not reading the Batman, the Supermans, the Spider-Mans?
Ooh. That's it.
Most people are saying because they don't know where to start. Just like every podcaster says, like why manga wins, and it's kind of true and kind of not true, because like what Batman is, who he is, his powers. Well, he don't have no powers, but his weapons and his car, and his parents died. So you can really start with any book. Just read it. Like, to me, comics are more like reading a chapter book. Like, if I want to read Sherlock Holmes, this would be Sherlock Holmes versus Dracula. I know, okay, I know who Dracula is. I know who Sherlock Holmes is. I can read this book for the story. I feel like comics are like that versus, manga. It's not like that. You don't know who Goku is, so you can't go pick up the Goku versus, Harley Quinn or whatever. Because you don't know who Goku is. You got to read his story and find out how he grew. You don't know, like you just don't know.
So I have a couple theories. Do you want to hear mine?
Okay.
So here's the thing about manga. Okay, again, I mentioned Spy X Family. It's the same creative team. Yeah, I might have to wait like 3-4 months for a new volume to drop, but I get like 80 pages. I get like this character, and it's easy. Like the investment for when I get one of those feels really good. And also, manga's everywhere. You can go to bookstores. You can go just look around.
Yeah.
What I miss about like living in Vancouver, like honestly, is they had a manga light novel store. Just all the stuff was coming out, and it was such a cool little store. And it was just like, and I could read all this stuff. It was a very special niche, and I really dug it. There is just like much like comic book stores. I think the big problem with a comic book, it's a double-edged sword. It's cool to go to a place and just get comics, but the direct market for the longest time crushed the market. You could only get this stuff at comic shops. You remember when we were kids, you go to 7-Eleven, we could get comics.
Yeah, I used to get mine from the Kroger and the Publix,
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't have it. Whereas manga, you can still do that. You can go to a Barnes and Noble in the States. You can go to Chapters in Canada. You can go to like the small bookstores. They'll have their stuff. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, right? Manga has, I think, right now a broader reach. And lastly, I don't know if DC or Marvel know how to reach those audiences.
They're trying now, like with their stories. They just dropping like random stories, like with Justice League and certain characters. Like they had a Ruby and Justice League like I don't know, spinoff or this series they had. They got Knights of the Dark Ages, which is like Justice League in like the medieval times. They doing stuff like that. To draw people in, like like I said, these characters, so you can read this story. It has nothing to do with the main story, but Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent, Princess Diana, you know who they are. So
Oh yeah, totally. I think you're doing the right thing, like with your stuff, to like, yeah, let's see if I can reach this audience. And if not, I mean, doing a manga will help you keep doing Legacy of the View stuff. It'll give you a different angle to do it, right? So
yeah.
So
it's definitely a different marketing thing for me too, because manga readers are not comic book readers. So is that's a big challenge right now. Is see how can I market this manga to these readers who typically don't do that.
well, I don't think it's oh, very cool. Um, I don't think it's hard. Again, just reach the audience you currently have. I mean, that's where I'd start. Obviously, it's like, hey, I'm doing a manga spinoff. Feel free to come along. It'll be a little different. Like that's where I'd start. And the second place is, you find semi-cool people like me. Oh, okay, maybe I'm not really cool, but we'll pretend otherwise for a sec, right? You could go, hey, you wanna let people know about the manga, and I'll, absolutely, I totally would, right? And you do it that way. And you just go to places like Reddit. You go to places where you think your stuff will like. What is your book like? And you go to those places and go, hey, my name's Specks. I'm awesome. Here's my book, which is also awesome. Please check it out if you want to check it out, and just go from there. I could totally be wrong, but I mean, if nothing else, like start when you look at a book, right? It's your book. What's your book kind of like? Okay, it's kind of like this. Obviously it's not just that, but it's like, okay, this seems fun. Let's see if I can find people who like what I think this is like. See if they'll give this a try. You got nothing to lose. The worst that can happen is I'm full of shit, and if so, I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, and but that's how you look at it, right? You look at the audience, where the audience is for what you think will work is, and go from there. Kind of see what happens.
Okay.
Just my advice. Take it, or I mean, if it doesn't work,
I'm gonna try it. I try. I haven't I've been on Reddit, but I haven't been on Reddit. So I heard that before. Going to someone on forums, but I just haven't done it yet. I just been attacking these hashtags and different groups on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. And yeah, I mean, go where what works for you, right? But I'm just saying, like, if you got a particular, I have an Alice in Wonderland book, right? It just came out, so I go to the Alice in Wonderland Reddit. Why not? Because someone there might be interested in what I'm doing, and right. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and maybe it doesn't work. But I mean, if it don't work, I'm exactly where I was when I started. Except maybe a little wiser. Maybe.
Right.
One can hope, right? One can hope.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what you got? Can you give me one last look of your Guile? Just because
I put a little more detail in his arms, a little bit. But
that's right, folks.
I ain't had no pencil, ain't no handy whatnot.
That's impressive, dude. He looks like tough. I don't know if I want to mess with that Guile. He just looks like, really, bro? You want to do this? Right? You would just want to do this? Right? So Guile was a tough son of a bitch. That's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. You should definitely check it. If you are listening to this when the YouTube drops, check it out. But yeah, dude, that's an awesome Guile. Right? And I still have the theme music stuck in my head. I just watched it.
It's a classic.
It is. Guile's music, folks, really goes with everything. So, do you have your Kickstarter links?
Well, it's in the pre-launch phase, but
yeah. So what? What you got? Just send me. Can you send me the link? And then what we'll do is we'll do a proper promo for all your stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I could be wrong, Mr. Specks, but I think we have an interview here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think so. Trained professional.
Yeah, A1.
Yeah. Trained professional or something.
Let's see. I wish I was better organized at this. You want me?
Hey. Just send to me via Facebook. I can.
All right. You should have it now.
Okay. I do. Okay, so the manga's called Boots.
Yes, the girl with the girl with the robot boots.
Okay,
that's the Japanese. Yeah, you see right there. That's what it says. But for us English readers, you can call Boots.
So for everybody watching, everybody listening, definitely check out. You can put your name on the marquee, right? And when you listeners, when you hear this in about a week from now, about a week or maybe a week and a half from now, the link will be in the episode description. Go in there, check it out. You get an opportunity to look at Legacy of the View number 4 and Boots chapters 1 through 4 available right now. Right, you can go figure, or right when this airs as an audio, and if you're listening to it right now, put your name on the pre-launch. Right, get out there, support this book. This is the incredible Specks Thompson, drawer of Guile, and that's what we're doing here. I don't know. I'm just trying to build you up, man. I'm just trying to build you up.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So listen. For now, I want obviously good luck with your project. I want you to succeed, but what I'm also curious about is have you how do people find you?
You can just find me, Facebook, Instagram at Legacy of the View. That's the name of my flagship comic book.
So I'll let's see if I got this right. Yep, does this work? Did I get this right?
Yep. And
Sweet.
then if you're not on Facebook or Instagram, you can go to the website, which is thelegacyofview.com. You know, you can check me out that way. You know, everything's easy. Everything's the same thing to find. You know,
There you go, folks. You can go definitely check them out right there.
yes, sir.
Right. Yes. Yes. On that note, for any Specs, I think we have an interview here. So,
Hi, man.
Yeah, all right. Before we wrap up fully, good luck on your Kickstarter.
Thank you, man.
Definitely. I
Go
hope
look at your book
well
too. Get to look at your book too. I heard your interview you had with Roy House, and I'm definitely gonna check that out too.
Well, and that's just what I'm about to do here. So here, for everybody watching, everybody listening, you can definitely check out my book right here, right now. It's Alice 1. Alice in Wonderland is Greek mythology. Alice is Pandora. Alice chases the Queen of Hearts over the edge of the world and ends up in the Greek underworld, where she must, to escape, combat Jason of the Argonauts in a game of croquet. In so doing, Alice and company encounter gods, monsters, and perhaps the most terrifying thing of all, themselves. Definitely check it out. Illustrations by Kenzie Carr. I'm really proud of that little book. You can support the channel by hitting the like, subscribe button, enable notifications if you're on Twitch. I want to thank Specs for coming on my show. One final thing. For the rest of this week, I am sponsored by Mirror World Publishing. They are doing an anthology called Far, Far Away. You can definitely check it out. Right here, mirrorworldpublishing.com. The code is Joshing if you want to actually get yourself a 20% discount on the anthology. Definitely go check that bad boy out. And for everybody watching, everybody listening, stay inspired, keep shining in the dark. I will see you guys tomorrow. I got an amazing week this week. I got Specs here who opened up the show with the drink and draw. Lily Lucchese is Tuesday. Kara Nicole is Wednesday. A Moth, band from Finland, is Thursday in a special afternoon edition of Just Joshing. And then I got Trish and Mike Benson closing out the week. So it's going to be a fun week. So I hope you guys check this out. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay inspired. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Same time.
All right.
All right.